Hey guys, Ron here, and since level 100 has been the cap for Pokemon since I was born, you'd think Game Freak would utilize this fact by now. I mean, level 100 is a big deal and kind of in the back of the minds of every trainer. So why is level 100 so unceremonious? We don't really get much for achieving this level. That's why I think there should be a select few Pokemon who evolve at level 100, coinciding with and expanding their lore. I mean, owls are known for their wisdom, so shouldn't a Pokemon like Noctowl evolve at level 100 and become a wise old owl? Magikarp is notorious to train, so wouldn't training it up all the way to level 100 result in it evolving into its ultimate form? I mean, a Pokemon like Torkoal is begging for an evolution, and evolving at level 100 I think makes a bit of sense. Level 100 is a big deal, so I think getting rewarded with a Pokemon that is basically legendary, like stat-wise, would be so satisfying. It's kind of crazy how I actually began developing this idea for a gimmick before the DLC was revealed to have Pokemon past level 100, so I think it would be a perfect opportunity to introduce this gimmick. If you enjoy this concept, please leave a like and subscribe to let me know you want to see a part 2. And consider becoming a member on Patreon or YouTube by clicking that join button to support these experimental Fakemon videos. But before we begin, you gotta experiment with today's sponsor, FlexiSpot. Let me tell you the story of how FlexiSpot helped my life immensely. More than a year ago, I began developing debilitating hand pain. I was basically overworking my hand by drawing, typing, and holding a mouse all day. After trying everything, I noticed that my wrist in relation to the desk was at an unhealthy angle. So I tried a bunch of different ergonomic chairs, but each one had their own pros and cons. Ultimately, I'd be sacrificing one comfort for the other. But FlexiSpot changed everything. When their C7 Max ergonomic chair finally arrived, and I realized that their armrest finally solved my year-long problem, I couldn't be more happy. I was so satisfied that I immediately got their standing desk to completely solve my problem. I have tried many chairs, and I've never seen one come close to the customizability of this swiveling armrest. The height of the back is adjustable, the headrest rotates to the perfect angle, the lumbar support cushions the sacrum too, the latex seat is a seriously soft memory foam, the seat depth can be adjusted, reclining is easy, and there's a relatively cost-effective footrest option, which is the icing on the cake. So if you're looking for the chair that you're going to be sitting in for like 12 hours a day like I was, this one's a big contender. And if you decide to keep it after their 30-day risk-free trial period, there's a 10-year warranty with direct replacement for any damaged parts. You don't want to miss these Black Friday prices, so click the link in the description to make the most of this offer while it lasts, and use my promo code Truegreen to get an extra 30% off the C7 Max on top of the already 60% off site-wide. And if you have a limited budget, you can check out their C5 chair, which is also high quality and adjustable. And if you're serious about support, check out their new C7 Morpher with upgraded lumbar support and upper backrest. Thanks for the giant help, FlexiSpot. Let's begin with a Pokemon that not only deserves an evolved form, but kind of makes sense for this video's prompt. Torkoal, being based on an animal that is associated with old age, wouldn't be all too surprising to receive an evolution at level 100. It could highlight this Pokemon's longevity while showcasing how this Pokemon becomes even cleaner. I mean, how about instead of it burning coal and producing smoke, dude is now water type and outputs steam instead. Water will flow out of this guy's shell like a temple. So I'm gonna sketch out our dear Torkoal and make it look like this wise sage monk. Instead of a coal oven for a shell, dude's shell is inspired by a jug of water, a humidifier, and a pristine geyser. This shell is far more intricate. It's a bit inspired by glass art and even ancient mud houses, but so that I don't have to tack on the rock or ground type, I made sure that it stayed looking like a turtle carapace. Finally adding the water flowing from this guy, I want him to look super clean and pure. You'll notice this running theme of purity throughout many of these evolutions today. I want them to feel like they have achieved peace at the final stage of their life. That's also why the dude's eyes are finally open. He has awoken. We're making the turtles woke in Generation 10. I'm also gonna add some foam on the bottom, and the colors are finally gonna showcase the dual fire-water type, as well as the steam at the top. Say hi to Torkoal, the steam Pokemon, a fire-water type with the ability Steam Engine and hidden ability Shell Armor. Though incredibly slow, Torkoal are constantly roaming in order to power their shells. Its heartbeat and pulse gives heat to the water within its carapace, allowing it to run and produce steam. The heat they generate purifies their water. This pristine water is said to prolong the life of all who drink it. Torkoal is very proud of their healthy water and endeavor to continue living for as long as possible in order to continue to produce their life-giving liquid. In battle, Torkoal shoots boiling water at any direction. It finds joy in perfecting its aim. Its shiny looks warmer and more tropical. Would love to shiny hunt for that. I find the idea of Torkoal being even more energetic and hopeful in its old age to be incredibly wholesome. As a Pokemon I've encountered since my childhood, giving Torkoal such a happy ending makes me feel a bit emotional. Now what if I made a split evolution for Gimmighoul? It's already kind of difficult to evolve it into a Gholdengo, so giving it another crazy method isn't that bad. Gholdengo is chill, friendly, and generous, so what if this new evolution was greedy, aggressive, and untrustworthy? We can even continue with the nautical theme. If Gholdengo is a surfer, then let's make this new guy a pirate. I mean, turning a treasure chest into a golden pirate is a genius idea, I think. Now I want this guy to look more feral and less chill than Gholdengo, so dude is crouching and creeping. I'm turning the lock on the chest that becomes a belt on Gholdengo into an eye patch instead, and the coin stack dreadlocks that Gholdengo has are actually a full pirate beard now. As you can see, this peg leg is also made of coins. That one coin tooth that Gholdengo has is now on the bottom to make dude seem older and scurvy ridden. I like to think that the chest that Gimmighoul has is now fashioned into a hat using the same material. More straps so that dude looks dangerous. Now the thing that Seep captains have on their shoulders are called epaulets, I think. So I'm gonna give this guy some on his shoulders made of coins. And the coins that make up its arms are gonna be layered so it looks like he's wearing the jacket of a stereotypical pirate captain. And of course, since Dog can manipulate coins, he can turn his coin into a hook-like weapon, utilizing the same pattern on its eye patch for a hat. I like to think this guy is made of both gold and the silvery parts are actually platinum. Originally this was designed as a Gholdengo evolution, but since that would be a little too powerful and this mon was looking too much like Gholdengo, I just made it a counterpart last minute, a split evolution. Beware Navagold, the coin collector Pokemon, a steel and ghost type with the ability good as gold. Navagold are greedy Pokemon who are always in pursuit of treasure. They integrate the precious minerals they find in their malleable body. The color of their golden body varies as a result. In battle, they transmute their arms into sharp weapons like a shiny hook. They are surprisingly flexible and will aggressively swipe at their opponents without backing down. Navagold is incredibly brave and will care for those who travel around the world with them in pursuit of riches. Unlike Gholdengo, they do not launch their coins and risk losing them. Instead, they attack head-on. I like this justification for them being a physical attacker as opposed to specially offensive Gholdengo. I'm honestly proud of how this turned out. Metallic Pokemon are really hard to render, so I'm glad with how shiny it looks. And I'm even more satisfied with how I managed to incorporate all of Gimmighoul's parts into the various pirate elements here. Would love if this was real. Now let's make a split evolution for Magikarp this time. But instead of being an equal to Gyarados, it'll be legendary. We all know it's a bit of a challenge to level up a Magikarp into Gyarados, but honestly, just level 20 to acquire such a powerful Pokemon isn't too tough. What if a trainer showed the utmost devotion to Magikarp and managed to carry this guy all the way to the top? I think we should create a true Magikarp evolution that is wise and eternal, like a Chinese dragon. A king of the sea, considering, Magikarp is actually called Koi King in Japan. The perfect golden dragon inspired by the Dragon Gate myth, while also looking a bit closer to Magikarp, and actually finally having the dragon type is a good idea in my opinion. So we're basically making a sea serpent inspired by a traditional Chinese dragon, even more than Gyarados is. Since he's gonna look so different from Magikarp, I'm gonna do my absolute best to keep every element that Magikarp has. So the dragon beard will simply be in the shape of Magikarp's dorsal fins, its ears are Magikarp's fins too, its lips are just bigger versions of Magikarp's lips, its eyes are a bit rounder than Gyarados's too, to be more like Magikarp's. Its head will be much simpler and less aggressive than Gyarados, so it looks more like a pure and wise version of what Magikarp is supposed to become. Originally, I was going to give it legs to emphasize the dragon typing and differentiate it from Gyarados, but I realized that it's still a sea serpent, and the whole point is to make it look more like a Magikarp Evo than Gyarados, so I banded the legs. He'll be more sleek than the atrocious Pokemon, with less segments and patterns. Finally, making it golden not only fits Magikarp a bit more, but emphasizes how this is the true evolution of Magikarp. Behold, Sovereign, the real Pokemon, from Sovereign and Rain, a water dragon type with the abilities Intimidate and Magikarp. Sovereign are the result of a Magikarp who has survived all of its life's challenges. These Pokemon rule the seas they inhabit. No Pokemon challenges them. Even Gyarados quickly learned to not confront Sovereign. They can whip up storms in an instant to deter any fighting. It has no desire to fight, ending battles in an instant with the most devastating move in their arsenal. It is almost impossible to anger this Pokemon. It will allow small Pokemon to play by attacking its impervious body. Its scales are so resilient that finding a golden Sovereign scale is so rare that it will surely help anybody amass a great fortune. Its shiny is basically a silver instead of golden. While creating this, I'm kind of surprised we have yet to see a golden dragon in Pokemon. I guess Dragonite technically represents the same exact trope, but instead of continuing in the Asian dragon aesthetic, it became a bit more Western. I do regret how it didn't end up, as similar as Magikarp as I wanted to, but it was kind of impossible to make something look like a Magikarp while also looking wise and powerful. Still a bit closer than Gyarados though. Spiritomb is 108 spirits bound to an odd keystone. But what if traveling with like a pious trainer till it reaches level 100 has given this Pokemon perspective and it truly becomes good again and wants to change its ways? I think if Spiritomb evolved at level 100, it would regret its misdeeds from its previous life and would become a meditating monk to repent. I mean, the swirling balls that are, I guess, souls that are inside of Spiritomb could easily be retooled as prayer beads. I mean, at its heart, it's still a Spiritomb. The keystone is a bit bigger, but I want to emphasize that instead of a laughing evil ghost, this dude is a crying and sad specter who regrets its past decisions and wrongdoings. It now meditates to find peace, so we're adding limbs like crossed legs and arms up in a prayer. Now that the ghost has found its humanity, it makes sense to anthropomorphize it a little bit by giving him human limbs. The spirit is also no longer contained. He is willingly sealed, so he stays by the keystone, but the ectoplasm is more erratic. Its swirling pool of souls is more like thunderous fire spreading from its body. Its eyes are no longer hypnotized as if in a hellish stupor. They are finally open. It sees what it must do. The souls trapped in a Spiritomb are finally outside of its swirling body, finally free. But they are bunched up in rings around the body that look like prayer beads. The whole point is that this is a monk now, trying to be good. That's why the stone has a shimenawa wrapped around it. They are ropes used for ritual purification in Japan. The traditional paper streamers on them are called shide, and coincidentally look like Spiritomb's mouth, so they feel appropriate too. A cooler tone also emphasizes its disposition. This is Spiritone, the regretful Pokemon. From Spirit, Atone, and Stone, a ghost rock type with the new ability called Permission. After a successful journey with a pious trainer, it is possible for Spiritomb to regret the misdeeds of its previous lives and evolve into Spiritone. This Pokemon is finally free from the curse that bound it to the odd keystone, but stays within its confines to atone for its actions. Spiritone will give advice to all Pokemon who ask it. It preaches peace and love. It is extremely emotional and will cry when thinking of those it has hurt and those who are currently in pain. Spiritone's new ability prevents it from using a move on the first turn and will max out its speed on the second turn. This is because Spiritone will literally ask for permission from its opponent to engage in battle and then resolve to quickly end the battle once it receives permission to fight. I genuinely wonder how this would work given its already high stats. I love this video because it helps finish the arcs that are established in the lore of these Pokemon and give closure to the tormented Pokemon that we might want to train. Now the Nosepass line is based on the Easter Island heads. Those things actually have bodies under there and even hats, so the line makes total sense. But while I dig this design, many find Probopass's face to be goofy given the magnetic shavings. Some have found it to be reminiscent of an anti-Semitic stereotype. But while that's definitely a coincidence, I may want to lean into it a little bit and give it a full-on beard. What if after journeying around, wandering, and learning, it evolves at level 100 into a super intelligent and suave old man? Like those old men in suit, perfume, watch, and wine commercials? I want to try to give this guy a much cooler face than Probopass, so that people will give this line a bit more love. Its nose is as prominent as ever, but the iron shavings mustache that it had fully solidified into a dense and sharp iron beard. Imagine it ramming its sharp beard into its opponent in battle. I gave it some pseudo-Polynesian facial markings that also look like wrinkles. It's looking down on us. It has traveled the world and is very cultured, you know? To emphasize its size, the hat Probopass once had is now small. The body is inspired by the rest of the statues. The Eastern Island heads have bodies after all. But so that we're not just making a walking man, this guy doesn't have any arms or legs. But I want this to look like a distinguished old gentleman with a well-groomed beard and fancy suit with jewelry. So that's the vibe I'm going for. Now the final addition is turning those floating noses into these claws at the bottom of its body that are inspired by the claws and giant magnets that they use in dumps. Dude utilizes it to collect precious metals, to attack, and of course to move. Imagine it like its body is one giant magnetic Metagross arm. Now with colors you can see the vision. The white beard makes it look aged properly. The golden accents are a nice touch too. Behold Vagapass, the Compass Pokemon from Vagabond and Compass. A rock steel type with the abilities Sturdy, Magnet Pull, and Sand Force. This Pokemon wanders the world in search of knowledge and rare artifacts. It will use its mastery of magnetism to collect lost objects. Metal from a radius of 10 miles can be summoned to the giant claw on the bottom of Vagapass. It won't keep most of what it finds and will drop heaps of treasure in the middle of town for others to peruse through. In battle, Vagapass will pull its opponents into its claw and crush them. Vagapass is experienced in a lot of techniques from around the world. It will finish off foes by impaling them with its sharp mineral beard. Honestly, I'd love to use one. This guy has so much swagger. I love his aura. Now, when I came up with the idea of a video about level 100 Pokemon, I pondered what kind of concepts were tied to the number 100. And then I remembered the century egg, a Chinese delicacy where an egg is encased in ash, clay, salt, and more things for months. It's supposed to taste crazy. So combine that with a rotten egg, and we can make a Chansey evolution that has aged so much that its egg is now powerfully acidic. A 100-year-old Chansey with a 100-year-old egg. That's a perfect way to end the video. So imagine an aged Chansey with an acidic egg. Its hair has grown, but as seen on Blissey, her hair naturally curls as it grows. Her eyes are sunken. I was debating on making it a ghost type too, but going from normal to ghost poison would be a bit too much, so girl ain't dead yet. It's all about refining the shape so that she doesn't look too wild. The colors are straight from the century egg. Her glowing eyes shows you that she has one leg in the grave. Here is Chansey, an egg Pokemon, unnormal and poison type with the abilities Corrosive, Stench, and Healer. The egg in Chansey's pouch has aged to the brink of decay. It is so acidic, it can melt boulders. Chansey is oblivious to its smell and seems rather unaffected by anything really. Chansey does not react unless it sees someone in pain. It will instinctively offer its egg before remembering how toxic it is now. In order to heal others, it simply uses its experience and expertise in medicine instead of relying on the egg it once used. Instead, it uses its egg to punish those who have hurt others. Its shiny is more ghostly in nature. I've wanted to make a century egg Chansey for some time now, so I'm quite pleased. And if you're pleased with this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. Check the description for the music I used, my socials where I post sneak peeks of my Fakemon, and my Patreon where you can get cool rewards like seeing my videos days early and discounts on merch. You can also get these rewards by clicking the join button and becoming a YouTube member. Make sure to check out my previous videos, and I'll see you guys very soon.